guys!
How are you?
Welcome back to
Bookshelf.
So today in this video, we are going to recommend you 10 books which we absolutely love and think that you and everyone should read at least once.
So all these books are our favorite books, and if you even ask us, when we are sleeping, and if you ask us, obviously don't ask us because it is a hypothetical term and don't disturb in our sleep. But if you ask us which books you will recommend, which books should we read, and we will surely recommend these books because they are just awesome.
For each book, we will specifically tell you why we enjoyed it and why we'll recommend it to you.
Also, one more thing, we have mentioned all the books in the reverse alphabetical order because they all are awesome. If we had to reread any of these books again, we will surely pick any one of them. And all the books in this recommendation are fiction.
We have also given links to buy them in the description box below. Do check them out. And just one more thing before starting. Do hit the subscribe button
and press the bell icon
to always get notified whenever we upload new bookish videos. So now,
let's start!
So, the first book we are going to recommend today is When We Were Magic by Sayee. So, what happens in this book is that Alexis, the main character, accidentally kills a classmate using magic. She's really freaking out because she just really killed someone. So, she calls her best friends Roya, Iris, Paulina, Marcelina and Mariam to help her and as well as support her. When they see a dead body, they are shocked to say the least. After they all freak out, they agree that they need to clean up the body before anyone else sees this mess. And taking it out of the door is out of the question as the party is going on downstairs. So, magic is their only option. But something goes very wrong with the magic and they end up creating even more bigger mess. And believe me, that mess was already huge. So, this book is their journey of cleaning up the mess and dealing with the backlash of magic. I finished this book in almost one sitting. It was a fabulous read. I loved how Alexis and her friends supported each other through all times. It was just what I was looking for. I loved it. If you are looking for a book based on friendship, then this will be my first recommendation to you. Moving on to the next recommendation, The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which is written by Heather Morris. This story is based on a true story and there are trigger warnings as well. This book has mentions of violence, abuse and rape. So, this book was set during World War II. The main character of this book, Leil, was a Jew and he was forcibly taken by Nazis to the concentration camps. This book tells us about his time there and how he survived it and how it affected him. This book is about unlikely friendships, loss, love, struggles and hope. The story of this book is very heart-touching and I cried a lot while reading it. It told us how uncertain of a place it was for Jews during the World War II. It is a really emotional read and I feel that you should read this book at least once. And now, moving on to another favorite read of mine, The Murder Between Us by Tal Boer. You can already guess by the title that there are going to be murders in this book, but it also has a romance plot mixed with the mystery plot. Now, let me tell you a bit about what happens in this book. So, FBI agent Noah, the main character, was in Vegas for a conference. He had some doubts about his sexuality, but when one night he meets Cole, all his doubts are cleared. After spending the night, they had decided to meet each other again in the morning, but their visit is cut short when Noah gets a call from his home about a serial killer who has resurfaced. When they call for a profiler from FBI, a person who helps in identifying the criminal on the basis of his patterns and behavior, he didn't expect that person to be Cole. Now, Noah and Cole, they both have to work together and get past whatever awkwardness they have from their night in Vegas. They both grow close as they work towards getting to the bottom of this mystery. This book was amazing. The author had kept the balance between romance and mystery perfect. It didn't feel like any one of them was in the backseat and just there for the name of it. I had my own guesses of who the killer might be, but the author gave a very unexpected twist there. I didn't see it coming at all. This book is going to be full of murders, love, mystery, adventure and suspense.
So, the another book we are going to recommend you today is The Kite Runner by Khalid Hossein. So, The Kite Runner is the story of Amir and his loyal friend Hassan. So, this story is set in Afghanistan. It is partly set in Afghanistan and partly in USA, and it is dated back in 1975. So, Amir is a 12-year-old boy and he wants to win this kite tournament, and then Hassan is helping him win it. But then in afternoon something happens and that is really going to change all their lives. But then when one day Russians invade Afghanistan, Amir and his family is forced to flee to America, and then one day Amir realizes that he has to again return to Afghanistan, and that too under Taliban's rule, because the one thing that the whole world can't grant him, that is like redemption. So for redemption he again enters Afghanistan. This story is just going to stay in my heart forever, and it is going to stay in your heart forever too. So then this whole story, The Kite Runner, is about friendship, betrayal and redemption. But then I want to give a disclaimer here. This story is set in wartime zone and therefore there is a reference to violence and abuse in it. So if you want to read a heart-touching story and the story which is fiction but feels very real, then you can surely pick up this book. And now, just before moving ahead, do hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to always get notified whenever we upload another bookish video.
Now, moving on to another fun and easy read, Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I had received this book as my birthday gift and I was a bit unsure of how it will turn out as I went in blind. But this book surprised me a lot about how good it was. I loved how the author had mixed in history along with romance and giving the point of view of the side characters as well. So, Natasha, the main character's family, is going to be deported and she only has one day to stop it. It is on this day that she meets Daniel, her love interest. This book is about how they spend the day and have fun. When I picked this book up, I was a bit unsure about how I will find out about the multiple point of views, but I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. This book is my all-time favorite romance, and if I have to choose to reread a romance book, I will surely pick this one up. Now to another fun recommendation, Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes by Rick Riordan. I read this book after reading Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I had read and heard about different heroes while reading it, and I was a bit curious about how they will be and how their lives were and why they became so popular. So when I found out that there was a book about them, I picked it up immediately. This book is about 400 pages long and is filled with adventures of heroes like Hercules, Perseus, Otrera, Atlanta, etc. The author has written about many of major Greek heroes, and when you pick it up, be sure that you are up for an adventure and a few gross things. I loved Percy's funny and snarky comments, which made it very fun to read. I was really excited for this book and it didn't disappoint me at all. If you didn't like mythology before this, I assure you that after reading this, you will love it.
So the another recommendation is going to be Not Without My Daughter by Betty Mahmoodi and William Hoffer. This is a true story of a woman named Betty. So what happens is that Betty accompanies her husband to a 2-week vacation to his native place in Iran, but then she just realizes that this 2-week vacation is not a 2-week vacation, but it is like forever. She finds herself and her 4-year daughter Mahatop to be trapped in a land where women are despised and Americans are treated very badly. And Not Without My Daughter is the story of a biographical story of Betty Mahmoodi and detailing her escape from Iran with her daughter and her abusive husband. I had read this book many years back, but then this story just stayed with me, and I think that this book should be read by everyone at least once in their life. Well, now another recommendation is fun recommendation, and it is Dollar Bahu by Sudha Murthy. So Dollar Bahu is an awesome and funny story. You will find a similar story happening in most of the families, so you'll find it to be very relatable. So in Dollar Bahu, the author describes Indians' fascination with people who go to abroad, especially to America. So it is explained with an example wherein the Indian mother-in-law has two daughter-in-laws where she is biased towards the American daughter-in-law and neglects Indian daughter-in-law. The novel in whole portrays the delicate relationship that exists in a family in a very heart-touching way. It is a fiction story, but yet it feels to be a very realistic one. The story is short, sweet and hilarious. You will surely enjoy reading this book, do check it out. And now just before moving ahead, do hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to always get notified whenever we upload another bookish video.
The next recommendation is classic Black Beauty by Anna Sewell. I had got this book in my library subscription bag. I am not much of a classic reader as it's very hard for me to imagine and connect with the world, so I keep it down and never pick it up again. But the summary and the cover of this book intrigued me a lot. And now I'm really glad that I picked it up cause now it's one of my all-time favorites. So this book is about Black Beauty the horse and about his life. The book is told from the Black Beauty's point of view and tells us about all of his experiences of all the homes, loving and cruel both. It is a very heartbreaking story filled with both cruel and kind moments. This book I had read about 3 to 4 years back, but I still remember it as if I had read it yesterday. And this book will always have a place in my heart and it is definitely a must read.
And now moving on to our last recommendation, A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. This book falls in historical fiction and realistic fiction genre. A Thousand Splendid Suns mentions 30 years of Afghan history. This is a story of two women, Mariam and Laila, who are born generation apart, that is like 30 years apart. They both have very different ideas of love and family, but then they are brought together by war, loss and fate. It is a very deeply moving story of family, friendship, faith and salvation to be found in love. A Thousand Splendid Suns is a wonderful mixture of reality and fiction, and it is a must read at least once in a lifetime. We have made a video wherein we have given the honest and detailed review of Thousand Splendid Suns. You can click on the I button above to watch it.
And if you have read any of these books, do tell us in the comment section below. We would love to know your thoughts on it.
Also, do tell us your must-read suggestions in the comment section. We would love to know them. And maybe add it to our reading list. And wait, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends.
And also hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to always get notified whenever we upload new bookish videos. Till then, happy reading, keep smiling, bye bye. See you in the next video. I'm not saying that it's too twisty. So all of these books are our favorites, and we would recommend.
Voice on again.
Not much of a classic reader, but I